Welcome everyone preparing for the Civil Services Personality Test. Today, this video is about corruption related questions in the UPSC interview. They are designed to assess your values, your decision making capabilities, your understanding of ethical governance, everything that you have studied. And these questions are not just hypothetical, they are actually reflective of real world challenges that you are bound to face when you actually become a civil servant. In today's video, we are going to break down the video into 5 questions, which are all very unique in nature. And we'll give you an understanding of the question and an understanding of all the things that you have studied regarding corruption. How can you integrate those two things and then make a framework on how you should actually answer those questions? So let's begin. The 5 questions that we're going to take up in today's video. What would you do if your close friend or relative is involved in corruption? How would you react if you are accused unfairly of corruption? What will you do if your superior asks you to overlook a corrupt practice that has happened? Have you ever witnessed corruption personally? How did you react? If you're offered a bribe, how would you handle the situation? So each of these questions is actually very unique, which can then be extrapolated to different kind of questions that would be asked from the corruption aspect, and then you can frame your own answers. 2 things that you should keep in mind in such questions. One, that you must always think about what is your instinct on and your reaction on certain questions like these. And second thing is that what are the official frameworks that are available which you have gone through and studied during your preparation. So let's start with our first question. What would you do if a close friend or a relative of yours is involved in corruption? So things that you can keep in mind while answering this kind of a question is that you must first of all acknowledge that it is an emotionally complex question, wherein there are certain things you would feel empathetic about in case a friend of yours or a relative is involved in such a situation. The second thing that you can do is that you can focus on transparency and accountability and the required aspects of your job. And the third thing is that you must demonstrate integrity. So relevant content that you should be knowing to actually strengthen your answers: Prevention of Corruption Act. You should also be knowing about the second ARC report on ethics and governance. So combining all the things that I have just told you, a possible answer that you can give is that this situation would undoubtedly be a difficult situation. But being a civil servant, my foremost duty is to ensure fairness and uphold the law. I would prioritize transparency by relying on institutional mechanisms such as the Vigilance Department and to handle this case impartially. While it may be challenging at the personal level, I believe professionalism requires separation of personal emotions from public responsibilities. Ultimately, my role is to safeguard trust and ensure that the due process of law is followed, and hence I would do that. So once you give such an answer, what does it actually showcase? This answer showcases that you have professionalism, you have the understanding of governance, and even though there is a lot of struggle that could be going inside you due to the complexities of emotions involved, you would still try to satisfy the required aspects of your responsibilities. This answer would show immense emotional maturity. It would showcase that you have a strong ethical foundation and you have a clear understanding of what you are responsible about. And hence, this would leave a positive impact on the interviewer. Moving on to the second question. How would you respond if you were accused of corruption unfairly? The first thing is that when such a question is asked, you don't have to get agitated. You have to maintain a lot of composure. You have to highlight documentation that is a possibility during your service. You also have to showcase that you have trust in the due process of law. So the relevant laws and reports for this particular answer would be the CVC guidelines and the Article 311 of the Constitution, which guarantees fair inquiry process for government officials accused of misconduct. So, of course, this is a very sensitive situation. What you can say is that if accused of corruption unfairly, my first step would be to remain calm and focused on presenting evidence to clarify the facts. I would ensure that my actions are thoughtfully documented and cooperate fully with the inquiry. Trusting the institutional mechanism to uncover the truth, I believe that maintaining transparency and professionalism in situations like these would restore the trust, but also strengthen the system's credibility in handling false accusations. I would be a person who has always documented the things that are required to be documented, which would strengthen my case. I believe that maintaining transparency and professionalism in situations like this would not only restore trust in the system, but also increase the system's credibility in handling false accusations. So, such an answer actually showcases that you have composure under pressure. You are actually prepared and you can foresee such situations, and you have confidence in the system. All three are very, very crucial for a civil servant. With such an answer, the panel would actually be convinced that you have the capability of handling unfair accusations also with grace and professionalism, reflecting your readiness to be under high pressure situations. So, the next question is, what would you do if your superior asks you to overlook a corrupt practice? This is definitely a very crucial question because here there is a lot of conflict involved. You are witnessing that there is a wrong happening, but the person who you report to is actually telling you not to take any action. So, what are the things that you can keep in mind while actually framing this answer? The first thing is that you have to have respect for authority. So, the answer has to be very balanced, avoiding a complete confrontation because it will not be actually conducive. You will also have to propose certain ethical alternatives to actually resolve the issue. You can also propose certain long-term solutions for this. So the relevant laws and reports that you can go through for such an answer are conduct rules for government officials, second ARC report on governance, ethics and governance. So a possible answer in this case could be, if my superior asked me to overlook a corrupt practice, I would respectfully express my concern, emphasizing the potential long-term consequences of such practices and the possibility of increase in public mistrust. I would suggest alternative solutions that align with ethical governance while ensuring that the objectives are still met. My approach would focus on maintaining professional respect while standing firmly with my beliefs and values, ensuring that I give a balanced and diplomatic solution. So, this answer showcases that you are firmly diplomatic, you are a problem solver, and you are committed to integrity. With such an approach, the panel would be left convinced of your ability to navigate authoritative dynamics tactfully while prioritizing public trust and ethical practices. So now we have come to the fourth question. Have you ever witnessed corruption personally? How did you react? Things that we can keep in mind for this answer. Describe your situation clearly, focus on constructive action, and reflect on personal growth. Relevant laws and reports that you can go through for such an answer are Whistleblower Protection Act, second ARC recommendations. So a possible construction of this answer could be something like, if I witnessed corruption, I would first ensure that I understood the situation thoroughly to avoid acting with incomplete information. Then I would report the issue with appropriate channels such as Vigilance Department and follow up to ensure that corrective action is taken. This experience would not only reaffirm my commitment to ethical practices, but also strengthen my belief in the importance of transparency and governance. So while giving this answer, you have shown that you are proactive, you are focused on transparency, and you are reflectively learning. By saying these things, you are showcasing that you do have trust in the system, and you are also reinforcing your credibility as a civil servant. Coming to the last question regarding corruption. If offered a bribe, how would you handle the situation? So things that you can keep in mind. One, that you should always remain very professional. You should highlight the legal implications of this. You should document and report things. The relevant laws and reports for this particular aspect would be Section 7 of the Prevention of Corruption Act, the Lokpal and Lokayukta Act. So possible answer in this situation could be that if I was offered a bribe, I would first of all clearly and calmly decline it, explaining my commitment to ethical practices. I would also inform the individual of the legal consequences that this could possibly have for that individual as per bribery under the Prevention of Corruption Act. If the offer persisted, I would document the interaction in detail and escalate the matter as per the systemic requirements to the acquired authority. So what are the strengths in this answer? It shows professionalism. It shows your awareness that you know that many a times people offer bribes not because they would like to, but because there is widespread corruption and malpractice in the system, and you want to overcome it. you are also aware about the legalities, and you are committed to accountability. So this kind of an answer actually leaves a strong impression of your ethical conviction and your readiness to act responsibly under pressure. So let me reiterate the takeaways from today's session. 1. That always rely on relevant systems, relevant acts, relevant reports like Prevention of Corruption Act, Whistleblowers Protection Act, ARC reports, etc. Frame your responses around integrity, professionalism, and accountability. Propose actual practical solutions wherever possible. Stay composed and stay focused. Your intention should always be of larger public good, which is going to be in your hands if you are a civil servant. Simultaneous with all of these things, you should also showcase your awareness of institutional safeguards and governance frameworks. In the end, I would like to say that corruption-related questions in UPSC interview actually test your values, your integrity, your ability to handle ethical challenges. This, in a lot of ways, is also overlapping with the ethics paper that you have. So whatever information you can get from there and utilize here, you must utilize it. Of course, that is a written paper. This one is a vocal interaction. So you have to change the way you speak, and you also have to formulate the answers in a more structured manner, which is very different in terms of an interaction and a write-up. But all the information that you have gained in terms of these things over there should certainly be utilized. You should stay calm and offer practical solutions. And you should always remember that as a civil servant, you are a torchbearer of trust and transparency in public service. So all the very best. So do write in the comments if you people have actually ever experienced corruption firsthand yourself, or you can imagine any question that you would encounter which you want to have a solution for. All the best for your interview.